Have you ever walked into your living room and felt a little overwhelmed? Not because of the people in it, but because of the things, the piles on the coffee table, the closet that won't quite close, the feeling that there's always something to clean and never enough energy to get it all done. Here at TheSeniorNest, we've met hundreds of older adults who have told us the same thing. Keeping my home in order feels harder than it used to, but I still want it to feel like mine, warm, safe, and easy to live in. Today, I'm going to share 10 powerful lessons inspired by Japanese minimalism that can help you keep your home cleaner, safer, and easier to care for without giving up the things you truly love. And I'm not talking about extreme changes or empty rooms. I'm talking about simple adjustments you can start today so your home becomes a place that gives you energy instead of taking it away. Let me tell you a quick story. Last year, I visited Mrs. Anderson. She's 75, lives in a small apartment, and had been feeling tired just looking at her living room. We spent one afternoon together just clearing her coffee table and moving a few chairs to open up space. That's all. That night, she called me and said, "I didn't know my room could feel this light. I actually sat down with a cup of tea and just breathed." That's the feeling I want for you. And it starts with our first lesson. Lesson 1: respect what you own. Respecting what you own is more than keeping things tidy. It's about creating a living space that reflects who you are, what you value, and how you want to feel every single day. When we respect our belongings, we're really respecting our time, our memories, and our future comfort. Think about the armchair that fits your body just right, the mug you reach for every morning, the quilt your mother once made. These aren't just things, they're companions in your daily life. Over the years at TheSeniorNest, I've met many older adults who struggled not with a lack of space, but with too much of it being taken up by items they no longer noticed or used. One gentleman, Mr. Thompson, a retired teacher, showed me his home. Every single object had a place and was cared for. His teacup was never left with stains, his books were dusted regularly, his old armchair was repaired instead of thrown away. He smiled and said, "If I look after my things, they'll look after me." That's not just a charming thought, it's practical wisdom. A well-cared-for home is safer to move around in. A maintained chair won't collapse when you sit down. Clean utensils keep you healthier. And fewer neglected objects mean less to trip over, less to clean, and less mental clutter weighing on your mind. Here's a simple way to start. Choose just one corner of your home, maybe a nightstand, a shelf, or the kitchen counter. Pick up each item. Ask yourself 2 questions. 1, do I use this? 2, does it mean something to me? If you answer no to both, that item is taking up more than space, it's taking up attention. Thank it for the role it played in your life, then pass it on to someone who can truly use it. You'll find that the space it leaves behind doesn't feel empty, it feels like breathing room. And here's the part many people don't realize: when you only keep what you respect, you naturally begin to treat your home with more care. You clean more often without forcing yourself. You fix things before they break. You take pride in your surroundings. And in return, your home becomes a partner in your well-being, protecting you, comforting you, and welcoming you every single day. Lesson 2: cleaning as self-care. Have you ever noticed how the state of your home can change the way you feel almost instantly? You walk into a room where everything is in its place, the air feels fresh, and suddenly your shoulders drop, your breathing slows, and you feel lighter. That's not a coincidence, it's the quiet power of a clean, cared-for space. At TheSeniorNest, we see cleaning not as a chore, but as an act of self-care. Think of it this way. When you wipe the kitchen counter, you're not just removing crumbs, you're creating a surface that welcomes you to prepare a meal safely. When you sweep the floor, you're not just picking up dust, you're making it easier to walk without fear of slipping. Every small action says, "I matter enough to live in a space that supports me." I remember visiting Mrs. Anderson, 75, not long after she'd had hip surgery. She told me she felt helpless watching dust gather and dishes pile up. We started small, just her bedside table. We cleared the old tissues, straightened her books, and added a fresh glass of water within reach. That night she called me, her voice brighter than I'd heard in weeks. "It feels like I can breathe again." It wasn't the table that changed, it was her sense of control, her dignity, her peace of mind. Here's the truth: clutter and grime don't just take up physical space, they take up mental space too. They whisper that you're behind, that there's work you haven't done, and over time that wears on your energy without you even realizing it. So here's how to reclaim that energy. Start with the smallest room or area you spend the most time in. Move slowly without rushing. Wipe, sort and return each item to a place where it belongs. If you find something you don't use or need, let it go. When you're done, sit quietly in the room for a few minutes. Notice the lightness not just in the room but in yourself. Cleaning as self-care isn't about perfection. It's about creating a home that feels safe to move in, easy to enjoy, and ready to welcome you at the end of the day. Every time you clean, you're not just caring for the space, you're caring for yourself. Lesson 3: let go of what no longer serves you. Have you ever opened a closet or a drawer and felt a wave of frustration, not because you couldn't find something, but because there was simply too much? Too many coats that no longer fit, too many dishes for one kitchen, too many just-in-case items that haven't been touched in years. At TheSeniorNest, we've learned something important. The weight of unused possessions is more than physical. They take up room in your home, but also in your mind. And for many older adults, that extra weight can quietly drain energy and joy every day. Letting go is not about throwing away memories, it's about making space for the life you have now. I once worked with Mrs. Campbell, who had a hallway stacked with boxes she hadn't opened in over a decade. She told me, "I don't even remember what's in them, but I feel like I can't let them go." We opened them together: old paperwork, broken decorations, clothes long out of style. She kept a handful of meaningful photos and donated the rest. When the boxes were gone, she looked at the clear hallway and whispered, "It feels like my home can breathe again, and so can I." Here's a gentle way to start. Choose one category, maybe coats, books, or kitchen gadgets. Hold each item and ask 2 simple questions. 1. Does this make me happy now? 2. Do I actually use it? If the answer is no to both, it's time to set it free. Pass it on to someone who will appreciate it. In doing so, you're not losing, you're giving that item a second life and yourself a gift of space and clarity. And there's another benefit. With fewer unused items around, your home becomes safer to navigate. No more squeezing past stacked boxes or risking a fall because of crowded hallways. Every cleared space is a step toward freedom, physical and emotional. Letting go isn't about less, it's about making room for better. Better movement, better peace of mind, and better moments in the space you call home. Lesson 4: fewer choices, more peace. Have you ever stood in front of your closet in the morning looking at rows of clothes and still felt like you had nothing to wear? Or opened a kitchen cabinet only to be overwhelmed by the number of plates, mugs, and gadgets crammed inside? At TheSeniorNest, we've seen how too many options can quietly steal your energy. Every extra choice, no matter how small, is a tiny decision your mind has to make. And over time, especially as we get older, those tiny decisions can add up to mental fatigue before the day has even begun. I once worked with Mr. Reynolds, 78, who had a closet so full it was hard to slide the hangers. We decided to keep only the clothes he loved and wore, often a handful of shirts, a couple of comfortable trousers, and his favorite cardigan. The next week he told me, "Getting dressed is so easy now. I just pick something I like and I'm ready. I feel calmer before my day even starts." This isn't just about clothes. The same principle works in the kitchen, the bathroom, even your living room. Fewer choices mean you spend less time deciding and more time enjoying. It's about removing the noise so you can hear the quiet. Here's how you can try it. Pick one area of your life to simplify, maybe your wardrobe, your kitchen tools, or even the stack of magazines by your chair. Keep only what you use regularly and what brings you joy. Store the rest away or pass it along to someone who needs it. And here's the unexpected benefit. With fewer items, it's easier to keep your space tidy. You can see everything you own, reach for it without moving 5 other things, and put it back with ease. Less clutter means more calm and more energy for the moments that matter. Fewer choices aren't about having less life. They are about having more peace, more clarity, and more room for the things and people that make you happiest. Lesson 5: The beauty of simplicity. Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly at peace, even though there was nothing extravagant about it? Maybe it was a small table with a single vase of fresh flowers, or a quiet corner with just one comfortable chair and a soft lamp. There's a certain magic in simplicity, a beauty that doesn't shout but gently whispers to you, your home. At TheSeniorNest, we've learned that simplicity isn't about emptiness, it's about focus. When your eyes and mind aren't pulled in 10 different directions, you can truly appreciate the few things that are there. The sunlight on the floor, the scent of a cup of tea, the gentle hum of the world outside your window. I once visited Mrs. Garcia, 81, who used to cover her dining table with every decoration she'd collected over the years: candles, figurines, lace doilies, flower arrangements. It was lovely, but also crowded. We gently packed away most of the items, leaving just one polished wooden bowl with fresh fruit in the center. A week later, she told me, "I didn't realize how much calmer I'd feel. That bowl has become my favorite thing to look at each morning." Simplicity makes cleaning easier. With fewer surfaces to dust and fewer objects to move, maintaining your home becomes lighter work, leaving you with more energy for the activities you love. Here's a way to try it. Choose one space: your coffee table, a bookshelf, or even a kitchen counter. Remove everything. Then put back only 1 or 2 items that truly make you happy or serve a daily purpose. Notice how the space feels. Simplicity invites you to slow down, notice the details, and breathe a little deeper. It's not about having less beauty, it's about allowing the beauty you already have to shine. And often, the simplest spaces are the ones that feel the richest in comfort and peace. Lesson 6: Bring nature closer. Have you ever noticed how just a touch of green can change the feeling of a whole room? A small potted plant on the windowsill, a vase of fresh flowers on the table, or even the warm grain of natural wood beneath your hand. Suddenly, the space feels fresher, calmer, more alive. At TheSeniorNest, we believe nature is not a luxury, it's a gentle necessity. Especially as we get older, bringing elements of the outdoors inside can lift the spirit, ease the mind, and make a home feel truly welcoming. I remember visiting Mr. Lewis, 79, who had a small bonsai tree by his favorite chair. Every morning he would water it, trim a leaf or two, and just sit for a moment to watch the light shift across its branches. "It keeps me company," he told me, "and it reminds me to slow down." Nature has a quiet way of caring for us. Plants purify the air, add color to a room, and invite a softness into our surroundings. Natural textures, wood, stone, cotton, make a space feel warm and grounded. Even a bowl of fresh fruit on the counter can bring a sense of vitality into your home. If you're not sure where to start, choose something small and easy to care for. A fern in the bathroom, a peace lily in the living room, or a jar of herbs in the kitchen. Place it somewhere you'll see it every day. And here's a little secret. Tending to something living, no matter how small, gives you a sense of purpose and connection. Bringing nature closer isn't about turning your home into a greenhouse. It's about letting the calm of the natural world be part of your daily life. Every leaf, every bloom, every ray of sunlight through the curtain is a quiet reminder that life is still growing, still beautiful right here, right now in your home. Lesson 7: Consume less, choose with purpose. Have you ever bought something that felt exciting in the store, but a few weeks later, it was just taking up space? Maybe it was a new kitchen gadget you only used once, a sweater that didn't feel quite right, or a too-good-to-pass-up bargain that ended up in the back of the closet. At TheSeniorNest, we've seen how easily these things pile up and how quietly they add to the weight of a home. It's not just about the money spent, it's about the space and energy they take from you every day. I once worked with Mrs. Hughes, 74, who loved browsing weekend markets. She had shelves lined with pretty jars, decorative plates, and knickknacks she'd picked up just because they were cute. But dusting them became exhausting, and she admitted she rarely noticed most of them anymore. We cleared a whole shelf, keeping only the items that made her smile every time she looked at them. "It's strange," she said, "but I feel lighter even though I have less." Consuming with purpose means pausing before you bring something new into your home and asking, "Will I use this regularly? Does it truly add value or joy to my daily life?" This small pause changes everything. You spend less time cleaning around items you never use, you save money, and you keep your home open and easy to move through. Here's a gentle tip. Before you buy, imagine exactly where the item will live in your home and how you'll use it in the first week. If you can't see it fitting naturally into your life, it might not be worth bringing in at all. Consuming less isn't about denying yourself. It's about choosing with care so every object you own has a purpose and every space in your home feels intentional. In the end, it's not the number of things you have that makes life rich, it's how much they truly serve and support you. Lesson 8: Quality over quantity. Have you ever bought something because it was on sale only to have it break a few months later? Or maybe you've replaced the same cheap item over and over, realizing too late that it would have been better to buy one good quality version from the start. At TheSeniorNest, we've seen the quiet power of choosing less but better. It's not about filling your home with expensive things, it's about investing in items that truly serve you, last longer, and make your daily life safer and easier. I remember Mr. Harris, 81, who had 3 kitchen knives, all dull and difficult to use. We replaced them with one sturdy, well-balanced knife. "It's like night and day," he told me. "Cooking is easier, and I don't worry about slipping and cutting myself anymore." Quality matters even more as we get older because it's not just about durability, it's about safety. A solid chair won't wobble when you sit down. A well-made lamp gives steady light for reading. Supportive shoes protect your balance and prevent falls. These things are worth every penny. Here's a way to shift your mindset. The next time something in your home wears out, resist the urge to replace it with the cheapest option. Instead, choose one well-made item that will last for years. Yes, it might cost more up front, but over time you'll save money, reduce waste, and avoid the frustration of constant replacements. And here's the beautiful side effect. When you choose quality, you naturally own fewer things because you only need one that works well. Your home becomes simpler, your cleaning easier, and your surroundings more dependable. Quality over quantity isn't about having less joy, it's about having more trust in the things you live with every day. And when your home is filled with dependable, well-cared-for items, it gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters, living comfortably, safely, and with peace of mind. Lesson 9: Treasure empty space. Have you ever looked at a bare corner or an empty shelf and felt the urge to fill it just because it seemed too empty? We live in a world that often tells us more is better, more decorations, more furniture, more to look at. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can add to a room is nothing at all. At TheSeniorNest, we've learned that empty space isn't wasted space. It's breathing room for your home and for you. It's the pause between notes in a song, the white space in a painting, the quiet moment that makes everything else more meaningful. I once visited Mrs. Patel, 76, whose living room had narrow walkways between furniture. She thought it made the room cozy, but she often felt tense moving around. We removed a small table and one extra chair, creating open space near the window. The next week she told me, "I didn't realize how much easier it is to move around, and I love watching the light come in now." Empty space is especially valuable as we age because it makes movement safer and cleaning easier. There's less to bump into, fewer surfaces to collect dust, and more freedom to move without worry. Here's how you can try it. Choose one area, a tabletop, a shelf, or a section of the floor, and remove everything from it. Resist the urge to fill it again right away. Live with that openness for a week. Notice how it feels to have that room to breathe. The beauty of empty space is that it invites calm. It gives your eyes and mind a place to rest. And in a world that's always rushing and crowded, that kind of calm is a rare and precious gift. Treasure empty space, not as a sign of something missing, but as proof that you have enough, and enough is a beautiful place to be. Lesson 10: Cultivate gratitude. Have you ever sat quietly at the end of the day, looked around your home, and thought about what you're truly thankful for? Not the big, once-in-a-lifetime moments, but the everyday comforts that quietly hold you up. The chair that supports you, the blanket that keeps you warm, the light that streams through your window in the morning. At TheSeniorNest, we believe gratitude is the thread that ties your whole home together. You can have respect for your belongings, a clean and safe space, and fewer but better things, but without gratitude, you can miss the joy in what you already have. I remember visiting Mr. and Mrs. Carter, a couple in their 80s. Their home was modest, but every object seemed cherished. A worn cookbook with notes in the margins, a teapot they'd had for 40 years. When I asked how they kept their home feeling so warm, Mrs. Carter smiled and said, "Oh, we thank the things we use every day. It reminds us we already live in abundance." Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. The more often you do it, the more you see the value in what surrounds you, and it changes how you treat your space. You care for the chair because you're grateful for its comfort. You wash the dish carefully because you appreciate the meal it held. Here's a way to make it part of your day. Choose a quiet moment in the morning with your coffee, in the evening before bed, and name 3 things in your home you're grateful for. Say it out loud if you can. The more specific, the better. Maybe it's the way your favorite mug fits perfectly in your hand, or the way the afternoon sun lights up your hallway. Over time, this habit shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. And when you see your home through the lens of gratitude, you'll find you already have more than enough to feel at peace. Gratitude doesn't just make your home feel fuller, it makes you feel fuller. And that fullness stays with you, no matter where you are. So now, we've walked together through 10 gentle but powerful lessons, from respecting what you own, to keeping your home clean as a gift to yourself, to letting go, choosing with purpose, and even treasuring the beauty of empty space. Each lesson may seem small on its own, but together they create something much larger, a home that supports you, protects you, and lifts your spirit every single day. At TheSeniorNest, we've seen that a home isn't just walls and furniture, it's a living reflection of the life inside it. When you treat it with care, it gives that care right back to you. And the best part, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with one corner, one drawer, one habit. Let that small change inspire the next. Remember, the goal isn't to have the perfect house. The goal is to have a space that feels safe, calm, and truly yours, a space that lets you breathe a little deeper, rest a little easier, and welcome each day with gratitude. This is the heart of TheSeniorNest, helping you create a home that doesn't just look nice, but feels like the best place in the world to be. Because in the end, the real beauty of your home isn't in how much it holds, it's in how much it gives back to you. And if these 10 lessons have sparked even one small change in the way you see your home, imagine what could happen if you took the next step. Here at TheSeniorNest, we have so many more ideas, stories, and gentle tips to share, ways to make your home safer, your routines lighter, and your days filled with more peace and joy. In our next video, we'll explore simple home adjustments that can prevent accidents and make everyday living easier without sacrificing comfort or beauty. So if you're ready to keep building a home that truly cares for you, stay with us. Your journey to a calmer, safer, more joyful home has only just begun, and we'd love to walk it with you.